welcome. Good to have so many people waiting for the live stream tonight. So thank you very much for that. I'm speaking slightly quietly because little one is still trying to get off to sleep, but she should be out pretty quick. So hopefully we won't have any distractions. Well, hope you're all well. Hope you're had a good week so far. I think my computer is just loading, so hopefully everybody else is. I'm gonna have to refresh. Do a quick refresh. See if my computer catches up. Let's just do the drum tops while I'm waiting. Right, yes, lovely. We're up and running. That's good news. And hopefully the chat will be there very shortly as well. Yeah, so how are we all doing? What are we working on this evening? What have we been working on this week? I've been quite busy. There we go, there's the chat. Fantastic. I've managed to get quite a bit of time in this week so far. Hence why I have two battalions on the table ready to finish hopefully tonight. That is the aim, and really, really pleased to manage to knock out these 3 movement trays this afternoon as well, this evening. So that's really encouraging. So yeah, all well on this side of the camera. How are you guys doing? I probably should say, just in case it wasn't obvious, that tonight I'm going to be working on these 6mm Napoleonics. These are the Guard battalions. And yeah, hopefully, if I can get these done tonight, that is the Guard brigade done. So yeah, really encouraging here. Johan said, finished updating the blog with another shortish review. We'll try and finish the gun for the last war tomorrow. Nothing tonight, knackered. Oh, I don't blame you, but well done for getting all those done. That's encouraging. I have to say, this week I've been absolutely amazed by how much I've been able to get done in just sort of small 10-15 minute bursts. Not nothing groundbreaking, but it all matters and all adds up. And it's just been massively encouraging to just make some really good progress. I've been making excellent progress with my Napoleonics, and over the weekend, you might have seen on my Facebook page, I managed to get a game in as well with my daughter. In fact, not only did I get a game in with my daughter, I managed to also get another 3 games in by myself, sort of solo play, just to learn the rules. So it's been really, really good, and it's got me really sort of inspired for the hobby, I guess, a bit more. I mean, these Napoleonics are probably a long way off actually getting on a table, just because I'll need the French to get a game in. But in terms of progress I'm making with them, these will be units 6, 7, and 8 that I will have achieved in the space of, well, I started mid-October, and we're now sort of nearly mid-December. So in 2 months, I've managed to get 8 battalions painted with some skirmishers and a command unit. I've got another one to finish up, but yeah, it's just really, really encouraging. Evening, Steve. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. And Gabs experimenting, doing sandstone on a 3D printed building. Luckily, I'm happy with the first color choices. Brilliant. Well, that's good news. Really exciting by the sounds of it. I assume you're putting some texture onto a 3D printed building rather than, but maybe it's a paint technique. I don't know. If you can explain a bit more, that'd be interested to hear. How are you doing it? I also managed to put a MDF kit together actually the other night, which was really encouraging as well. You've got loads done, TJ. TJ. Oh, Johan, yeah. He's amazed me how much Johan gets done. Truly inspiring. Yeah, I have had an MDF kit for Gates of Antares, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to stick it together. And then I posted some questions in the Gates of Antares group to find out a quick answer. But yeah, I think everything's going very nicely at the moment. The stone effect is on the model already. Ah, brilliant! So just a paint job then. That's handy. I have to say, I am very much toying with the idea of buying a 3D printer, probably in the springtime, once we've got through the madness of winter and the energy bills and all that good stuff being a little bit higher than they are during the summer. Because we've got solar panels, which massively helps. Because when the sun comes out, we absolutely pay nothing for our utility bills, and we actually make money, which is crazy to think, but that is how it works. And so, just need to wait till we get to that time of year. We have just more money. That's all right. It is what it is. But yeah, 3D printer would be cool. I backed a Kickstarter recently. In fact, just the other week from Zorbazorb, the YouTube channel. He had his Zorb Sector Rome stuff. It's all sort of sci-fi, but it's sort of very much heavily influenced architecturally by the Romans, and just absolutely fell in love with the range of buildings and how he's done them, and the I guess the theory behind the designs and all that. And yeah, decided 65 quid all in, gets it everything. And the stretch goals and all that. I thought brilliant. Now my friend's has offered to print me a few bits out. Probably print me quite a lot out if I asked. To be fair, just gave him some money. But I'm just thinking I might pull the trigger and actually invest in a 3D printer. But we will wait and see. That's a bit of a purchase, but we'll wait and see. Right, let's get back to the chat. What have we got? Johan comes and goes, helps having fixed hobby evening in a group to get stuff done. Yeah, definitely. If I could actually focus on one item, that'd be great. Gab says I'm doing leather brown, then plague brown, and dark sand dry brush. I like it. That sounds really good. Definitely would love to see some pictures, see how that's come out. Yeah, no, well done. Sounds really, really encouraging. Just getting the bits of white done on these guys. And yeah, really liking how these coming out now. The next unit that I'm going to be working on is probably the cavalry, which I'm going to tackle over Christmas. Really looking forward to them, but it's going to be like a little bit of learning from scratch because, of course, I haven't done cavalry yet. Well, I've done the two commanders for the first brigade that I got finished, but yeah, doing a squad, I'm going to need to look into. I'm going to do the household cavalry. So, and what I'd really like is to do what are they? The Blues and Royals and the lifeguards. Now, I need to do some research to see if they were actually units around during the Napoleonic and the Peninsula War, but we'll wait and see. Lovely. Because I do think with the Blues and Royals, because the tunics are a different colour, it'd just make a nice pop. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, hopefully, just go back to this command unit, put a bit of white on their top of their, I forget what they're called, the plumes essentially. Yeah, right. Rather pleased with these guys. They're coming along really nicely. Is there a Facebook or an Instagram for your channel? There is a Facebook group by the same name, T's Miniatured Battlefields. If you do a Facebook search, you'll see it there. I also use that, share my posts on that on the various different groups. 6mm Wargaming is one, the Napoleonic Gamer or something like that. There's a channel around Napoleonic Wargaming. Trying to think other ones. The 2mm and smaller scale group I post in. So yeah, there's a few different groups that I share my posts in, but yeah, they're essentially all for it. Steve says, sorry, being quiet here. Currently taking my French artillery off their old bases, going to upgrade to something more spacious. Oh, sounds good. Very exciting. I haven't touched artillery yet in 6mm, but that is on the list of things to do now. I'm getting to nearly having a couple of full divisions. I was thinking today that over the Christmas period, what I'm going to do is sit down and work out what I'm going to order next from Bacchus, because I will have essentially got, I'll have 2 full brigades done, but they're not from the same division, so it'll be 2 half divisions done. So I need to basically identify what extra bits I need for the other brigades in the first couple of divisions. Once I've identified those, I'll get them now. I think I'm probably going to get some Highlanders, because I need some Highlanders for one of the brigades. They've got a Scottish Highlander regiment battalion in the order of battle, so I need to do them. I also think I'm going to need, so King's German Legion is, I've got a brigade of those to do, so that will just be some ordinary British infantry figures like these, so they'll be easy enough to do, and then that will finish off the 1st Division to go along with this brigade, which is the Guards Brigade. And then I need to identify, I think it's just some more regular infantry for the 2nd Brigade of the 2nd Division. So got a few bits to pick up, but I'm also considering whether I pick up some British light infantry figures in skirmish order and get some more skirmish detachments. And I have got the riflemen that I can use for the King's German Legion, a light battalion. And they will, they'll go really nicely. So that is the 2nd Brigade of the 1st Division. So the Guards Brigade is the 1st Brigade of the 1st Division. King's German Legion Brigade will be the 2nd Brigade of the 1st Division. So it's all very exciting stuff. Also need to wash and prep some more models for my 6mm First Crusade project. Oh, nice. Crusades, it's not a period I've really ever gamed, but I always think the armies look very impressive. Particularly the, I get the names wrong, not the Crusades, but the forces they fought against. Is it Saladin, or is that the wrong name? Forget who it is. They fight against in the Crusades, but yeah, really colourful. I like the flags. So many flags in that army. I think in 6mm that would look amazing. So yeah, be excited to see that, Steve. What was the other thing I was thinking? Something else, just on the tip of my tongue. I was thinking, oh yes. No, it's escaped me. Uh, I will need to get some artillery as well. That's the other thing. For the division. So if I've got 2 divisions, I need to work out what artillery to go with them. I think for the guards, for the 1st division, I think it's going to be some foot artillery, probably 6-pounders from what I've seen, but we will work that one out. And then I know for the cavalry, I think it's a heavy cavalry brigade or a household cavalry brigade. Anyway, they'll have probably the Royal Horse Artillery go with them, so that'll be good. Brilliant. These are starting to come along. I'm sorry you can't see them as well as I can. I know somebody mentioned that previously. It's really difficult in this sort of. I'm not sure I can. Can I scan in? Yeah, I can. Look at that. Right. Let's give you some close-ups. So these guys are looking quite good, to be fair. Quite pleased. I've got to do their rifles, their muskets next. But yeah, and I'll just show you command team. Got to do the facings. Got to do the drums as well. But yeah, let's zoom back out. I don't know. Well, let's keep it close like that. See how that works. Right. Let's go back to the chat for a moment. Steve says I'm before that 1090s. A lot of mountain units. Very nice. Good evening, Comrade Dusty. Nice to see you. Is this your first time in the chat? Can't remember whether we've seen you before. Not seen you before. But anyway, good to have you with us. And Gab says some rockets would be fun to add to your artillery. Very much so. I think that the rocket troops will definitely get added. Right, what we're going to move on to now. Let's go for some muskets. Let's see how this goes. So, not sure. Is that better for seeing what I'm painting? Oh, it's your 3rd time, comrade. Do apologise. I've clearly slept since the last time I was on did a live stream, but yeah. Oh, well, good to have you with us again. Really appreciate the support. Do let me know if you can see what I'm painting any better. I mean, to be honest, if you can see it better than I can, then it would definitely be good to just let you guys paint, to be honest. But yeah, no, we're enjoying it. It's the main thing. Enjoy the painting, enjoy the hobby. So I did a thing. I'm going to admit to it, but I did a thing. So last weekend, I popped into the local comic book store and I was looking at to see if they had any of the airbrush friendly paints. So sort of Vallejo Air. And while I was in there, they've got quite a lot of 40k stuff. So I actually started looking at it, and I think it's Zorb's fault. I'm going to blame him. But yeah, I was looking at it. I was considering it. Prices are just incredible, and not in a positive way. They're just so expensive. Not to say they're not worth it, but when I compare this 6 mil project, how much I'm spending, a brigade is costing me about a tenner, and I don't think I could get any figures for a tenner from GW. Just unbelievable. And yet I'll put a brigade on the table, and that, to be fair, I want lots of brigades, certainly to make up divisions, and I want probably to put 5 division. No, maybe not 5 divisions. I'm certainly planning on modelling, painting 7 brigades, I think, with the cavalry, and that will cost some money, but not nearly as much as putting that same sort of numbers of figures on a table as it would for GW. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to get into 40k, but the small scale stuff, it took my interest, because I bet that could look quite good on a table and be a lot of fun to play with. But yeah. Let's see what we've got. Johan says, unless it's a bring buy, no. Yeah, that's a good point. You can't even get 40k branded dice for £10. Wow, that is a state of, I don't know. It just doesn't feel accessible to me. And really interestingly, on one of my videos recently, I had somebody comment that saying, and I think he was trying to have a dig at me, but I don't know. I didn't take it like that because I just haven't got the time or to be worrying about what people are saying. If they don't like what I'm doing, they don't have to watch. I don't think they need to comment either, but that's fine. But the guy said, since when did the hobby become a middle class affair, essentially? And somebody came back and actually commented and said, well, if you um, look at the prices of things, then in some ways you actually it's in some ways like GW, it's not as accessible to some people in economic situations as it is in others. Which I think is fair, and it's a fair comment. But the guy did go on to say, well, it's probably wargaming is almost been become as classless as it ever will be because of some of the products available. And you think of the skirmish scale wargaming, the rules that are out there, people are writing it, the content creators on YouTube, being from all sorts of different backgrounds. And he just made a really good point that actually there's a lot of companies and rules writers and all sorts making the hobby extremely accessible. And I think that's really encouraging. And it may well become another discussions video. Is the hobby accessible? Because I'm sure people will have an opinion on that. We always like an opinion piece. But yeah, it's just a soapbox moment, isn't it, really, for me? Right, what did you have to say? If you want a few figures, it is fine. If you want a full army, a spare kidney is needed. Yeah, I'm not sure I have a spare kidney, that's the problem. And in some ways, like, I like sci-fi gaming, or I feel like I would like sci-fi gaming, and would like to get into it. And for me, I think Gates of Antares has been that opportunity. I think there's probably some other games that are even more accessible. Things like Stargrave, I think, are probably more accessible because they're figure agnostic in terms of you don't have to get specific figures. But yeah, it's an interesting world out there that we have in terms of a hobby. Right, these muskets I definitely find are the most boring bit to paint, but not to worry because we are rattling through them quite nicely. And again, that's another thing about the scale that I love. It's just you start thinking, "Oh, I'm getting bored of this," and by the time you've thought that and you've looked down, you actually realise you're quite quite a good way through. So it is encouraging. You'll have to come back for the white slings, but I'll try not to forget that like the other week. Cool. We're getting there. Right, what have we got else? Steve, with historical gaming, plastics have helped massively. No way I could do 48 mini units in metal. Yeah, no, agreed. Never said it has to be your own. Oh, kidney, yeah, that's good. When plastics came around, they promised more models for less. Now you pay as much for 20 figures in a box. But the choice has massively improved, so there is that. Yeah, and agreed to Johan. Gab says, I don't enjoy assembling GW minis nowadays. I get the odd third-party orc stuff sometimes and play one-page rules. Yeah, I can understand. I mean, I think the GW figures are quite nice, but they're very complicated. And sometimes I look at them and think, how am I going to paint that? You know, like where do I start? And yeah, I've got some older GW plastic night goblins. They're just so nice to paint. They're really nice and simple. They're quick to paint as well. You know, I literally prime them in black, and then I'm doing a bit of a dry brush, doing a few details, and there we are. You know, we're there. So, yeah, I think for all of the beauty of the sculpts that GW have got now, there is something lost in the complexity of them. And I'm sure there are people out there who actually really like them. Look how they look. I think they're designed as well to be for sort of artistic painters as well. Not, I think they're trying to hit quite a few markets. Which, you know, it's absolutely their prerogative to do that. But I don't know if that sort of puts some people off, and certainly in the wargaming category, it makes it a bit more challenging. I don't know. Right, getting to the end of this first brigade on these muskets. That's good news for me. Oh, trying to paint his hand brown. That would be a mistake. Oh, it's coming off. Get really annoyed when it does that. Let's get these. I'm going to call them flagpoles, but we know they're standard poles. For some reason, this particular strip of this command strip, it just the poles were really badly bent when they came out, which has just not been very helpful. But it's all right. Tried to bend them back straight as best as possible. What they are actually now is just more like snakes, but hey ho. Could be worse. Could be worse. Yeah, happy with that. Right. Not only that mistake. Right. Let's try for the 2nd battalion. Once I've done that, I've got facings to do. I've got the drum and drumsticks to do, which is not going to take too long. What else do I need to do? Facings. Metalwork. Yeah. I'll catch up in the chat in just a moment. Thanks for the highly active chat tonight. It's really, really encouraging, and I do think these live streams are, you know, really been great. Since, you know, they were a little. I've done them before, and I didn't get anybody, and it was quite demoralising. But certainly, since you guys have been coming back every week, it's been really encouraging. Comrade says 3D printing has made the hobby for me 40k a lot more accessible. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Even I think in the terrain aspect, it makes the hobby more accessible. So yeah, definitely agree on that one. Johan says, just received a single new GW Beastman. It's 10 parts for just one figure, a bit of stomach, separate horns. Come on, yeah. Vastly prefer the North Star stuff. You can mix anything with everything you make, and it is 95% of the time, and it 95% of the time fits. Wargames Atlantic also comes with tons of parts, which is nice, though their prices have been going up and up. Yeah, and I have to say that Wargames Atlantic stuff's really impressed me with the quality, for plastic, and the fact that they're kicking them out so quickly. They were doing something on their I think it was their website, where basically you could go and download STLs, print off figures, stuff that they obviously weren't going to produce as kits, but they were still sculpting them. So yeah, incredible how much is being kicked out these days. Really, really is. So my first battalion of the First Foot Guards is complete. I gave them their colours today in a glorious ceremony, um, which is really fun. Not the ceremony, adding the flags. To be fair, I hate adding flags, but I'm getting better at it, so I'm therefore enjoying it a bit more. But yeah, got that done this afternoon as well. And then, yeah, what else have I done? Sorry, not what have I done. So the other two battalions I've got here is going to be the 1st Battalion 2nd Foot Guards and the 1st Battalion 3rd Foot Guards. And if you know your history around the guards, the uh, uh, first Foot Guards became the Grenadiers, the 2nd Foot Guards became the Coldstream Guards, and the 3rd became the Scots Guards. So there you go, bit of history. So yeah. So that would be my guard regiment. Right. What else? Oh yeah. Yeah. I've heard a lot of really good stuff about the North Star figures. I will say that, and a lot of it's, dare I say, generic enough that you can use it for anything. A friend of mine used the Oathmark stuff, and he's really raving about that. Because again, it's just fairly generic stuff. Goblins, orcs, elves, and essentially, you can use it for any of the game systems out there. It's not game specific, which I know a lot of the historical stuff isn't either, because of course, sorry, a lot of historical stuff is non-game specific because of the nature of it being historical. But when you start looking at Gates of Antares is a great example. Like those figures, they're all designed for the game, that specific game. Although saying that, I know a lot of people who are using other figures, which helps. Just reimagining, the factions as looking different. If that works for you, it's one way of getting around the prices and availability, because that's the other thing. Warlord stopped supporting it, and it's now with Skytrax. And the question will be, how long will Skytrax support it? Is there the demand out there? So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Johan says, finished up the Micro Arts pre-printed stable tonight. Nice, not a bad building at all. Lift off base, extra dovecot, and that for €30. No painting needed, so really not my thing, but it does save a ton of time. Yeah, time. That old kicker. I've started looking at 6mm buildings. I've seen quite a few advertised on Facebook at 6mm for the peninsula, so I'm really quite excited to possibly purchase some of those. When you're talking £4 or £5 a building, it's a bit of a no-brainer. I've got to get the airbrush. Got to get into airbrushing. I tried it once. In fact, Johan might remember I actually got Pierce Brand's old Aztec airbrush off him, and I don't know what I've done to it, but it stopped working. Which is a bit of a shame. So got a cheap one that I got with the compressor, and I'm going to give that a go and see if I can just get that working. And then if that works, I might go back to the Aztec and see if I can get that working. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it says 28mm, by the way. It's great for Normandy, Napoleonic era. Perfect. And that's not bad for €30. It's good to get multiple uses from buildings. Completely agree, Gabs. Completely agree. I think if you can do that, if you're gaming in one scale, it's just a really beneficial advantage. Oh, we're getting there. We are getting there. So I guess so I'm gonna do a live stream next Wednesday as well, just to let you know. But that will be the last one before Christmas, noting that the Wednesday after that is Christmas Eve. So I'll be having the family round for Christmas Eve things, dinner, games, that sort of thing. So I won't be doing a live stream in 2 weeks' time. But next week I will be here. So have a think if you want me to do something special, a special Christmas live stream. I would wear a Christmas jumper, but as you don't see me on camera anyway, probably won't make a blind bit of difference. I don't know whether we could do some fun Christmas games in the live stream, or I don't know. Have a think. If you can come up with some cool ideas, we'll make it a Christmas tradition, and then next year we can pull it out again. Don't know. Anyway, have a think. Let me know. The other thing I was going to ask was about if anybody's asked for anything specific wargaming wise for Christmas. Are you looking forward to getting anything in particular? I had bought this pack of Napoleonic infantry and cavalry to get for Christmas, and then I've already got it painted before Christmas, so that was clearly not a good idea, but or I absolutely ruined that Christmas idea. But there we go. Right, that is the muskets done. Told you they went relatively quickly. What ideas we got? Sounds like it needs a bath in the ultrasonic cleaner and some 99% alcohol. Yeah, the airbrush, most likely. Scott 6mm snowman. Brilliant. Yep, Gaz makes your collection so much more useful. Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed. Right, let's get these drums done. And then we can move on to the metalwork, and that should. Oh, and then facings just to finish things off, and then that's these battalions done. It's really encouraging. Got the work Christmas run ashore tomorrow, so that should be exciting, and probably a late one, and probably fairly alcohol fueled. But apart from all that, should be good. Lovely. There's one drum. Let's put it on there. Pop under there. That's the other one. Lovely. Good. That is looking good. Swords. Swords and scabbards. What colour was I doing scabbards now? I think it was the Luftwaffe uniform. I think we're just going to use a bit of that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Right, scabbard for these officers. Lovely. Lovely. And Lovely. Happy days. This one over here. Lovely. Right, that's that. And then what else did I need to do? Did I need any more white? Ah, yes, I did. Rifle slings. So we'll do that. We'll also do the metalwork. And then facings. And then I think that is everything done. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, did I do? I didn't. No, that's okay. It's fine. Right. Happy with that. I use some of my 28mm buildings for my 54mm games. Surprisingly, it looks okay. Nice. So just while I've got some paints drying, take a moment, take a quick little break. I need to build some more of these Isaurians for Gates Vantaris. So if I get these figures done well, I've got 20 minutes. We'll see. I'm probably not going to get them. Well, I'll get the 6mm finished, but I'm not sure I'm going to get onto the 28mm. But essentially, what I need to do is get some of these built. For the next scenario, I think I've worked out I need to build another 5 and then paint them. So that shouldn't take too long, which would be nice, and a nice little break from my 6mm foray. Quite like this guy. He's the big leader for the scenario or the campaign that I'm doing. So quite like him. But I was going through the army, so I was like, it looks like I need to essentially have 16 models to get all the figures with the gun, with the weaponry that it tells me I need, and and the box only supplies 15. So I'm not quite sure what it had in mind, but I think I'm just going to ignore the weaponry on the model, and I will just play it as it is. Play what it says in the rules in the book on the army list, rather than what the model's got. Should be all right. Yeah, so still looking for a nice scheme for those outcast Gar I picked up last weekend. I have to say I've done 3 Gar. The outcasts I think are really cool. The Gar themselves are actually quite cool models. I just don't enjoy painting them as much because it's very fiddly. I haven't really found a quick way of doing it other than to prime it white, paint in the black details and some of the lighting and stuff like that, and then use basically a pin wash, a black pin wash in between the paneling to give it some depth. That's the only way I've found to do it quickly. But there we go. Right, let's do some musket slings, and then we'll do the metalwork, facings, and then we are done. I have decided that as 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 useful as it is to be able to get battalions done fairly quickly. I mean, so basically, I've managed to get 2 battalions here done in a week. I just don't enjoy doing 2 at a time. I think I've decided it's process feels quite long. When you're only doing 6 stands, it feels quite quick. Everything's quick. You get it done quickly. You can see results. But with 12 stands, it just does feel like it drags a bit. It takes that little bit much longer. But keep seeing how I go, because it does mean I can get 2 battalions done in a week versus 1. And I probably spent 2 hours. I got 2 battalions done. And it just helps because things can be drying on the first battalion while you're working on the second battalion. It does help. Probably a little bit more efficient. Something pale seems to fit then, so maybe white prime with a light blue or greenish wash could be a start. And plan only what you can finish in an hour. Yeah, that's a good idea. And to be fair, I tend to only do an hour, so I'll get halfway through these guys and then finish them off in the second hour. So it's not too bad. I'm just complaining for the sake of it. Not complaining, just doubting what I can achieve. But I've done this twice now. Done 2 battalions at once. Both times they've come out looking good and quick, and it's nice. There you get that whole feeling of achievement. So maybe I just need to suck it up and get on with it. What was I going to say? Johan, if you want me to send some pictures to you from the rule book or the supplements of the Gar Outcast, let me know. Send me a message on Messenger, and I'm happy to look you out some pictures and send you some pictures, because I find that's quite inspirational, the stuff they've done in the rule books and stuff. Yeah, more than happy to do that. I'll be going, will do. Yeah, perfect. I'll get working on those over the next couple of days. Might be Friday night. Might be a good time. I mean, get that done. I'm out, as I say, tomorrow night. But yeah, that could be an option. Right, moving on to the metal work. So close your eyes. If you've got any issues with me using my same paintbrush to paint using metallic paints, I do apologise. Not that I use them for Antares, but heresy. Well, you know what? Your toys, you play with them. You do with them as you see fit. I personally would use them for Antares, and I will check my collection because I might actually have some that Andy sold me, Andy Singleton. But I need to have a look. He sold me quite a lot. I got a very, very good deal. So many figures. I think I paid like 100 quid or something. Really good. Oh, and I got a bit of MDF terrain, and he's good, mate. He'd done them all for like the Warlord days and the sort of release of version 1, and they'd gone up and done like a games day up there. Him and Jez and I think maybe Richard Dando. But after a while, he stopped using them, stopped playing the game, and that was it. So wanted rid of them, and I was looking to get into it. So it was a good start for me. Although, to be fair, I mean, I like Andy's painting, but I think my painting's a slightly different style, and I might, on some of the figures, just repaint them because I want them to. Andy's really good at sort of quite dark and grimy looking kind of figures. Like, I remember when he did the Batman stuff for one of the miniature games that they brought out for Batman. His painting was excellent for him. But I just want my sci-fi stuff to be just a little bit brighter and a little bit more. I don't know how to describe it really. I don't want it sort of be dark and dingy, if that makes sense. Shocking, yeah. Well, we'll kick him out, shall we? No, we won't kick Johan out. He's a stalwart, a a pillar of the Tees miniature battlefields community. if we kick him out, I think I'll just have to kick myself out as well. Show myself the door. Did you find out what the round MDF bit was for with all the circles? Yes, I did, Johan. So actually, it turns out one of the people in the group said that it's so the device which they travel from or with is called the transmat. No, that sort of big circular disc. I'll grab it in a second. It's just over on my other table. Is another transmat pad where you can transport from one to the other. And the other small little MDF rings are also that as well. So yeah, found out that. That was quite cool. Nice to know. Right, 3 bits left for metal, and then we are winning. I did say to my mate James Wright that at some point I'm going to need to start the French. So that's a plan for probably maybe early-ish, maybe spring, March time. Next year will be to start the French. So I've got somebody to put these guys against. I want to start learning his new rules, which he's given me an advanced copy of, which is very kind of him. And his rules are called Eagle over Iberia. And I want to learn it so I can do some play testing for him and then ultimately do some demo games as well for him. Try to push and help him as a sort of a new rules writer. And I've been there, done that. Star Trek versus Star Wars, then yeah, absolutely. I think Andy's more in the Star Wars. I'm probably the more Star Trek, like the bright colours. Right, we're on to facings. We'll get these done while I'm just getting psyched for this. 9 minutes to go. I'll just show people what I was talking about with Johan. So this is one of these are transmat sort of teleporters. So these guys stand on that and they transport to others, I guess, through the transmat. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. Exciting stuff. But I want to prime it and then use the airbrush to kind of give it a really interesting look. Oh, Gabs, good to know I'm not the only one. Yeah, right. Let's get these facings done. And we've got 8 minutes to the hour, so we're going to smash these out. The blue is ready. Let's just tickle. Amazing how much the blue pops. So I'm looking at the other battalion that I've done, and the blue really pops a lot against the red, and does make you realise just how much those facings are quite important. Lovely. Really like this blue. I think I'm probably going to use it for the French uniforms. Lovely. That's 3 down. I literally just thought to myself, Let's zoom in for this bit. If we can get a little bit more in. Yeah, I just thought to myself, oh, these seem to be taking forever. Which means I'm sounding a bit like my daughter when she is always saying this is taking forever. But I thought, oh, it's taking forever, and I've just put one down. I've gone, oh, I'm actually nearly finished the first brigade here. So yeah, clearly it doesn't take as long as I sometimes think it does. So let's it's about that time again of the week. All best kind of conversations with equals. Absolutely, Johan. Yeah, completely agree. It's that time again. We're going to talk about what the video is going to be this week coming out. So this week, the video that I've made is on my casualty figures for this project. So if you're interested in how I'm doing kind of casualties or um, the status of units, so whether they're shaken or that's a rather large facing on that one, but he's definitely going to be a back rank now. But yeah, if you're interested in that, do check out my my video on Sunday when we're going to look at those casualties. Oh, he's come off again. That should be hopefully a good one. And then next Sunday. No, not the one coming, but the following week, one just before Christmas. You're in for a bit of a treat because I'm going to be doing a battle report, last one of the year, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So I'll be doing the first a quick little sneak peek inside knowledge for you guys because you've tuned in tonight. It's always the bonus of doing so. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, I'll be doing a battle report of the first scenario from one of the Gates of Antari supplements. And it's my first game, although I've obviously played it through quite a few times this weekend just to make sure I know what I'm doing. It will be, yeah, it's the first scenario that I've played of the game. So learned a lot, more to learn, but really had a lot of fun with it. Really quite easy to pick up. Obviously, I'm not playing all the rules yet because it's the campaign's built in a way that you learn more and more rules as you go along, which is really clever. I'm really enjoying it for that reason. I think because it's a learning process. Absolutely muck that one up. He now looks a little bit French there, so get some of that blue off his tunic. Yep, recovered. Repaint. Lovely. Lovely. Is this close up any better? Are you getting a good view of me painting these? Not the most comfortable painting position for me, but it's doable. And if you're getting a better view of me painting, then that will be a benefit, I guess. Something that people are asking me about. Again, let me know in the comments if it's what people have been after. Keep making that same mistake. That's twice now I've made that. There we go. I think sometimes my hand just gets a bit tired. I start painting a bit poorly. Cool. I probably should say as well that although we've obviously got next week's live stream. I'm then actually probably going to be taking, I think, about 3 weeks off for the Christmas and New Year break in terms of the live stream. I will be putting videos out. That's the plan. But in terms of the live stream, I won't be back until the second week of January because I'm away the first week of January. So, one to put in your diaries. I should be back. What's the 5th, 6th, 7th? So the 7th is the one I'm away for. So the following week, so that's the 14th. I will be back with a live stream on the 14th, all being well. All right, 2 to go. We've got 1 minute. Johan, that's the issue with small scales, isn't it? We'll look grand on the table when they are done, but close up never do them justice. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I think when you start to do like you really look close in as well with the focus, it doesn't ever look as good. And it also gets a bit blurry and all sorts. But hopefully, certainly further away in my hand, it looks better. And my eyes are starting to get to that tired stage of the night where I can't focus for very long. And then I've got to blink. That doesn't help. Cool. Right, last one. And then what I will probably end up doing, not tomorrow, but Friday, I will just paint between the figures on the ground cover. Once I've done that, I'll be able to pull these off of these bases, and then once I've done that, I've got them onto the 20mm bases. I will then look to get the cavalry cleaned up, put them on. My plan is to do probably one unit, and then I will do a tutorial for the second unit. So there we go. Right, let's get this back to there. Hopefully you can now see that. Right. So there we have it. We've these are looking dry as well now, nearly pretty dry and just stuck. So that's fine. All right. So I'll be able to dry brush them on Friday as well. So they're all coming together really nicely. Let's just put these ones that I finished into onto the tabletop there. Not that you can see them very well because you're looking top down, but yeah, we're in a good place with these. So 2nd Battalion, 3rd Battalion, essentially they are pretty much done. We'll add the ground cover color onto the bases, and yeah, brilliant, Gabs. That's really really grateful for that feedback. A good viewing angle, that's good, and that is a nice blue. Yeah, appreciate that. As I say, I'm going to use that for the French, I think, for their uniforms when I get onto them. But yeah, these guys are these are pretty much well, these are the 1st Battalion of the first Foot Guards. So they would become the Grenadier Guards in decades past the Napoleonics. Thanks, Steve. Really appreciate that, and Johan as well. Really appreciate that. I don't know why we've got a bit of an angle there, but there we go. Hopefully, straighten you back up. So yeah, I think that's all I'm going to get done for tonight. As I say, my eyes are starting to get a little bit tired, which means I need to probably stop. The only thing I would say is I've got the 2 commanders here. Oh, sorry, the brigade commander. I just got to finish painting these 2, and then that will be the whole of that brigade finished. So get them all based up, get them in their movement trays, which I've got here, and then that'll be 6, 7, and 8 battalions done. I'll be really pleased with that, to be honest. And if I can get the cavalry done over Christmas, which is a possibility, then potentially could be looking at 3 whole brigades done in space of 2.5 months. So would be really, really pleased with that. That'd be excellent progress, and really encouraging for obviously next year. So yeah. So what's coming up? We've got a video out this Sunday. Check that out. 6 o'clock Sunday. Next Wednesday, we've got the last live stream of 2025 just prior to Christmas. And then the following Sunday, we'll be having the second to last, the penultimate video out of the year. That will be the Gates of Antares battle reports. Do check that one out. And then the following Sunday, which will be the Sunday between Christmas and New Year, I'll have my final video out where I'll be looking at the aims that I set myself, the goals that I set myself for 2025, see how I've got on with those. And then I'll be setting myself 2026's goals. So check that out if you want to know what's coming. And I've got plenty of other videos in my mind that we're going to be doing in terms of more painting guides for 6mm. I want to showcase some of the game aids for my 2mm Lord of the Rings game. And of course, late January, we've got the Lardy Day at the club, which I will be doing a bit of a report on as well. So lots and lots to come. I'm just not sure how I'm going to get it all out. But if I have to do more videos, I have to do more videos, just how it is. So anyway, guys, that's it tonight. Thanks ever so much to everybody. Thanks, Paul. Really appreciate it. And Steve, thanks to Gabs and to Johan, of course, and also to forgetting names at the moment, but I will find it in the chat. It is Comrade. So thank you to all of you for joining, being in the chat, making it such a good evening, a good live stream session. I really do appreciate it, and you guys have been absolutely brilliant this year. So until next week, have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you next Wednesday for the last live stream of 2025.